shall rest from life, like the setting sun in the west, but you shall dawn anew in the east, as the first rays of Amun-Ra dispel the shadows.
Not today, mummy guy! Swing! I, being totally from this time period, am here to stop you.
Cut! What the hell are you guys doing?
Well, you told us to dress up as the original Mummy movie.
Yeah, 1932, Boris Karloff.
No. Everybody knows that the original Mummy is the Brendan Fraser version.
Why are you dressed up as Grunkle Stan and talking like Frankenberry?
Oh my god, I am so sick of people saying this. The Brendan Fraser one is not the original.
Sure it is. That's why when the crappy remake came out, everyone said it's not as good as the original.
Yeah, isn't that true?
No, yes. It is a sin against nature.
And this is that original film.
No, this was the first crappy remake.
You didn't like it?
I didn't say that, but...
You said it was crappy.
Well, it was meant to be crappy. At least I pray to God it was.
Let's just all come together and agree that the Tom Cruise one sucks.
Yes. I want to show people what a great Mummy movie was supposed to be.
You thought the Tom Cruise one was great?
There's more than 2 movies!
Well, people remember the Fraser one. You should talk about that.
Fine. I'll leave it to the audience. How many of you are... God damn it, you uncultured swines!
Told ya.
Oh, piss off telling me an Aragon joke. Sad to say that in recent years, when many people refer to the original Mummy movie, this is the one they're talking about. The 1999 hit quickly established it had as much to do with the original Mummy as, say, The Last Airbender had to do with the original Avatar, except a little less penis hair. Nevertheless, it found its audience not as a horror film, but rather a corny, lighthearted adventure. It spawned sequels, spin-offs, even a children's cartoon. And let me tell you, it is no Jackie Chan adventures! So after years of popularity, and yes, even future remakes taking more from this than the original source material, it does make sense to see if this still holds up, or if, honestly, it was ever really meant to hold up. Let's take a look at 1999's...
The original!
Shut up and watch something black and white!
Never!
The Mummy. It starts off in... Oh, I'm sorry, I apparently put on an episode of the cartoon. Oh! Doubly sorry, these are apparently really convincing effects. Not to knock what is admittedly pretty CG, but Val Kilmer refines as Moses and Ramesses fit a little too well into this realistic backdrop.
Thebes, crown jewel of Pharaoh Seti I, home of Imhotep, Pharaoh's high priest, keeper of the dead.
Who enjoys sitting really close to the screen playing Assassin's Creed Origins. Oh, again, looking over realistic Egypt. I'll give the film credit that as fake as everything looks, it is still a gorgeous and artistically pleasing body of work. And the CGI ain't bad either.
Am I right, boys?
Imhotep has an affair with the pharaoh's mistress, which seems redundant the more I think about it. But the golden festers are unable to block cock for long.
Yattamitatan.
I had an itch. What, Egyptians never have an itch? Or you can kill them, that works. But the mistress has a plan for the guards who came to arrest her. Haha, that showed him! Imhotep plans to resurrect her though as... Wait, I can't not play this. This is all a cartoon! Don't believe me? Look at the effects when trying to bring his love back to life. Oh my god, we're in the remake of The Haunting! Destroy everything except your by Catherine Zeta-Joneses! Oh, I dreamed I was attached to a giant bomb with Tom Cruise. Imhotep has to kill her to resurrect her, but he's stopped and mummified, covered in CG bugs, while also given apparently the worst of all curses.
The Magi would never allow him to be released, for he would arise a walking disease, power over the sands, and the glory of invincibility.
Kind of a dumb curse when you think about it. Ah yes, you will suffer for years and years, and if by chance somebody saves you, you'll become the most powerful and invincible entity known to man. Were there no other curses that left that part out? Was that curse on sale?
And for 3,000 years, we, the Magi, the descendants of Pharaoh's sacred bodyguards, kept watch.
Ah, jeez, these guys have the laziness of the cruciform sword written all over them. If you did your job well, we wouldn't have a movie. We come across a desert battle and meet our main character Rick, played by Fraser, and his comic relief, Benny. Wait for me! Don't worry, he'll be back soon to confuse charming side antagonists with "Shut up! Shut up!" soon enough. Thank God they set their rifles to around target instead of on target. That spooky face in the ground scares everyone away, including Fraser. Banish him to Monkey Bone. Meanwhile, Rachel Weisz plays a librarian named Evelyn, who's searching in the S section for suck-ass comedy. It's funny because... Nope. I'll give them a point that they actually knocked all these bookcases over in one shot with no CG involved. It almost excuses the lame-ass exposition we have to sit through.
Why do I put up with you?
Well, you put up with me because I can read and write ancient Egyptian, and I can decipher hieroglyphics and hieratic.
I force plot points with no natural rhyme or rhythm. She thinks she hears a noise, so she grabs one of those necessary torches kept around ancient artifacts. I guess electricity wasn't a common thing yet. Oh, wait! Where she's led to her piss-poor fake-out.
Have you no respect for the dead?
Yeah, messing with priceless corpses in Egypt? Best case scenario fired, worst case scenario death. This is Jonathan, Weisz's brother, who just happened to find the Hellraiser box, which contains a map to Egyptian tombs and treasure. This looks like a job for pervy George of the Jungle.
Who are you? And who's the broad?
You were actually at Hamunaptra.
Yeah, I was there.
You swear?
Every damn day.
No, I didn't mean that.
I know what you meant. I was there. Seti's place, City of the Dead.
My slightly dirty skin and perfect white teeth are ready for rugged adventure. So yeah, Brendan Fraser sticks out like a member of Scrubs in an Indiana Jones movie. But given the film's goofy tone, you could argue that's the point. It is a silly environment, so his mismatched voice and look doesn't go unwelcome.
Then get me the hell out of here!
My problem is there would have been so many other non-matching actors that would have been even cooler. Can you imagine Bruce Campbell in that role? It'd make no sense, but it'd be awesome.
Who are you and who's the broad? Get me the hell out of here, and by God, tell me why that guy's in that hamster wheel. It's not even attached to anything!
Sadly, though, Fraser is set to hang and... Short movie. Actually, his neck doesn't break, which allows Weisz time to bargain for his life, telling his captor that if he releases him, she'll lead them to the treasure. He agrees, not realizing forced romantic interludes are a shitty-ass Lucas wipe away.
He's filthy, rude, a complete scoundrel. I don't like him one bit.
Anyone I know?
Oh, my horniness totally forgot what I was saying.
My whole damn garrison believed in this so much that without orders, they marched halfway across Libya and into Egypt to find that city. And when we got there, all we found was sand and blood.
Like it totally put me off my surfing lessons. I'm a rogue.
One of the most famous books in history is buried out there. The Book of Amun-Ra.
And the fact that they say that it's made out of pure gold makes no never mind to you, right?
I was thinking of dyeing my hair gold. Would that be cool? I'm a lowlife.
Why did you kiss me?
No, I was about to be hanged. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Oh.
I thought we had something, man I've known for less than a day.
What?
They sail on a ship, discovering that another troop happens to be looking for the exact same thing on the exact same ship. They even come across the exact same wormy comic relief.
You're alive! I was so very, very worried.
Bartok the Bat?
They pay me only half now, half when I get them back to Cairo.
Am I supposed to believe that thing woke up after all these years?
You never believed in Hamunaptra, O'Connell.
Oh, sure, blame the bat. What the heck, we're easy targets.
Admit it, you are not gonna unhear this! But a universal stunt show breaks out and everybody is forced to abandon the ship. They manage to come across some camels, and surprisingly, they don't focus on their flatulence. You missed a cinematic diamond mine. And they travel to the ruins using Dave for night and Dumb for smart.
What the hell we doing? Patience, my good Varatham. Patience.
You know, sir, really, you should watch your blood pressure. Stress, it's a killer, sir.
We're about to be shown the way.
You sure it's not just playing a DuckTales cartoon? My God, these effects!
Can you believe it? Hamunaptra.
Here we go again.
Derp. So they make it to the city and start looking for riches. film was used to shoot that rope scene, I think we all acknowledge it was worth it. They journey inward to see what they can find.
They ripped out your guts and they stuffed them in jars.
And then they take out your heart as well.
Well, that's the end of them. No, they just missed it, god damn it, and find the Book of the Dead. Fraser's captor, however, finds one of the deadly bugs concealed in a Cadbury egg that somehow survived all these years despite being in a Cadbury egg. Oh no, I'm being photoshopped to death! Christ, is Macaulay Culkin in that tomb with him? He died as he lived, like Curly Howard. The crucified morons show up a day late, proving they suck at what they do, and making them even more dumb when they just tell them to leave and then they leave.
Leave. Leave this place or die.
Oh, those are our choices, huh? Hey, you notice how their backs are to us right now? Of course, having half your crew killed and your life threatened doesn't mean you can't get smashed the exact same night.
I know when to say no.
And unlike your brother, miss, I just don't get.
I am going to kiss you, Mr. O'Connell.
Call me Rick.
Kurt Russell. That would have been a weird but badass choice. I could totally see him in that role.
Call me Rick, and for God's sakes, grow your eyebrows back. What are you doing?
Well, I'd say never on a first date, but this never happens on a first date. Okay, that's the one thing Brendan Fraser could add that nobody else could add. This whole entire performance might be worth it just for that one reaction. You hold on to that, Fraser. Let no one take that from you. But they discover Imhotep's corpse and are surprised to find he's still decomposing after all these years. Perhaps it has something to do with the remains of the bugs in his tomb.
They can stay alive for years, feasting on the flesh of a corpse.
So somebody threw these in with our guy and then they slowly ate him alive?
Very slowly.
Yes, as we already saw, they really take their time there. They're like flesh-eating snails. The other guys find ancient soap dispensers, unaware that they hold some of Imhotep's vital organs. This will make him happy, though, when he wakes up after Doof and Doofus read the passage that resurrects him from the Book of the Dead. See how much cooler that would be? This unleashes a plague of fake-ass locusts, sadly not led by James Earl Jones. All hell starts to break loose as even more of those bugs are released. Still eating people super slowly, as you can see.
Very slowly.
You know, has anyone considered she has no idea what she's talking about? Thus, only an hour in, we finally get our mummy. And... pretty sure Legends of the Hidden Temple would have done him better. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, given the time period, it's pretty bad. Okay, now we're trying to do a troll face. If it was on a tree from The Wizard of Oz, what are we doing? Fraser saves her by blasting his emo dick, but the crucifying schmucks block them off.
I told you to leave or die. You refused. Now you may have killed us all.
You know, I love the way this guy says everything. No matter what he's talking about, I feel like it should always be followed by, man, or, you know.
I told you to leave or die.
Man.
You refused.
You know.
Now you may have killed us all.
Man.
Relax, I got him.
No mortal weapon can kill this creature.
You know.
He's not of this world.
Man. But Imhotep comes across Benny, who quite amusingly prays to every religion he can think of.
Actually, considering how long you've been dead, you look pretty good.
What is Stephen
Were you just keeping those in your pelvic bone? You have no skin, you have no clothes. There's nowhere else you could keep it. This really needs an answer, despite how much I don't want it. suggests they leave, Weisz suggests they stay, and the rest of us debate if this sounds more like Will and Grace or Mad About You.
I told you not to play around with that thing. Didn't I tell you not to play around with that thing?
Right then, me. I woke him up and I intend to stop him.
Oh, yeah? How? You heard the man. No mortal weapons can kill this guy.
Christ, at this point I'd take Archer in this role. Look, you can either tag along with me or stay here and try to save the world. Do you want mummies? Because this is how you get mummies. Fraser goes to the bar to get hammered, where an ex-pilot talks about his woes about there being no adventures anymore. I'm sure absolutely nothing in the near future will tie into this.
Chucked it in with the others and gone down and flame in glory instead of sitting around here rotting of boredom and booze.
Yes, Chairman Mouse from the Rescuer movies. Oh, it actually is him. Random. The Mummy and Benny locate one of the people who took the sacred jars.
I'm afraid more is needed. The prince must finish the job and consummate the curse.
I guess a curse just ain't what it used to be, huh, sir?
Which you and your friends have brought down upon yourselves.
Side note, that was very nice of you to fill me in before you kill me. I mean, I know you got a lot on your plate right now and time is probably of the essence, so it's very considerate of you to do.
We are in serious trouble.
You know, I should probably count how many times a good one-liner is instead replaced by Brendan Fraser making a stupid face and stating the obvious.
We are in serious trouble.
Derb.
That happens a lot around here.
Derb.
I'll be seeing you again.
Derb.
These guys just don't quit, do they?
Derb.
This just keeps getting better and better.
Derb.
We are in very serious trouble.
Derb. The mummy moves in on Weisz, but gets pussy whipped being afraid of cats who are revealed to be the guardians of the underworld. Weisz's boss was in cahoots with the Crucified dorks and helped him in their terrible job of protecting the world.
Apparently even after 3,000 years.
He is still in love with her.
Man!
Perhaps he would once again try to raise her from the dead.
You know?
And he stretched forth his hand towards the heavens, and there was darkness throughout.
No, yeah, because that brother character is entirely useless. They try to justify him by having him quote the Bible every time something plaguey happens.
There was darkness throughout the land of Egypt, and the rivers and waters of Egypt ran red and were as blood.
Oh, shut up, VeggieTales, you're still pointless! So Fraser decides to lock Weisz in her room, leave the other rogues to look after her, and bring the brother with him to find Imhotep.
She doesn't come out and no one goes in, right?
Right.
Let's go, Jonathan.
Wow! Every single one of those choices was wrong! She knows the most about the mummy, so she should go along. They're more qualified to fight, so they should go along. And I refer you back to useless. Does anyone know how to do their job in this movie? I guess he didn't want a repeat of what happened. Him running into Benny, the mummy killing another scrounger, putting the moves on Weisz, a plague happening, and being scared by a cat. So what happens? He runs into Benny, the mummy kills another scrounger, puts the moves on Weisz, a plague happens, and he's scared by a cat.
We've just come through there.
Yeah, with the exception of the explanation with Weisz's boss, which even then I feel like we could have figured out, the past 8 minutes are just a repeat and totally should have been deleted. But at least 2 more souls are sucked dry, which means the mummy must look at least a little more realistic now. As realistic as a cartoon mouth app on your phone. Is this mummy meant to be scary or adorable? I'm gonna say a scarable. Imhotep hypnotizes an army and forces them to go after our heroes.
Faster.
Patience is a virtue.
Not right now, it isn't.
Derb. They escape through the back, but the mummy has an extra trick up his sleeve. Okay, glad you got that out of your system. The army eventually corners them as the fully regenerated Imhotep approaches. And if Weisz is anything like she was earlier, she's probably like, ooh, that's what he looks like all put together?
Guitar mi faros.
Whatever he's asking, yes.
Syrian.
Come with me, my princess. Take my hand, and I will spare your friends.
Is this the face of a bat who would lie to you?
She decides to go with him under the condition that he spares her friends. He agrees to disagree.
No! Go with me!
It was the noble, stupid thing to do. Her boss sacrifices himself so the rest can escape, and they go to Chairman Mouse for the use of his plane.
What's the challenge then?
Rescue the damsel in distress, kill the bad guy, and save the world.
Oh, one of these bullshit movies, righto! Imhotep travels via warp whistle, and I gotta say, for being in a sandstorm, they look pretty damn good. But Mr. Sandman isn't done yet. My god, this must be Anakin Skywalker's worst nightmare.
I don't like sand.
Look out! Sand F. Murray Abraham! He swallows the plane up, though I guess not too deep, seeing how there's still plenty of blue sky in sight. But Weisz has an idea. Oh god, now the storm's tongue is attacking us! What's going on? But it appears to not be enough.
I love the whole sand wall trick. It was beautiful, you bastard.
You don't need to impress me, Morty. Sadly, the only character I sympathize with, the drunk who just wants to die, gets killed. But if we're lucky, maybe we can go for 2.
Yes! Very slowly eat him alive!
Very slowly.
Sadly, he's saved, but Imhotep hears them and sends his biggest threat yet. Mummies, they're actually there! Oh my god, they're actually right in front of us! I mean, really right there! It's not Jar Jar shit! Run! Oh, whoops, don't worry, we still got the fake shit over here. Yeah, surprisingly playing the exact same effect doesn't make it look any more real. It still looks like a Smurf sneezed milk through his nose. The mummy of Imhotep's bride comes to life though, but before he can make the human sacrifice, Fraser saves the day. They forgot to subtitle that scene, so I'll just throw my own in. And for a creature as powerful as a god, Imhotep doesn't really do that much outside of just watching them fight and go, thank God I'm not the butt-ugly CGI rock in the shitty-ass sequel. And when he does finally fight, he just utilizes more Mario Paint effects. You know, call me crazy, but dropping your jaw like the Patrick the Starfish meme doesn't seem particularly scary. Look at that. Did the genie lend you some acting advice or something? This was meant to be a Disney film, right? But Weisz reads one last passage that takes away his invincibility, making him mortal. Of course, everything starts falling apart and Benny is left behind in the treasure room.
Hello, we'll be your comeuppance for the evening.
This can only end in tears.
At least you'll very slowly eat me.
What dumbass told you that?
Very slowly.
Run, camels, run! I care more about you than any of the main characters! I'm only kissing you because I think I'm gonna get hanged later.
How about you, darling? Would you like a little kissy-wissy?
Well, it's no camel fart, but his entire character is close enough. So that was the remake, not the original, of The Mummy. Does it hold up? No, but I don't think that was really the point. It's kind of like a high-budget B-movie, self-aware, silly, and over the top. Some would say the bigger budget makes it less of a B-movie, but look at these effects. They look like the effects of today's B-movies, so I feel like it still kind of qualifies. On top of that, it is still visually pleasant and fairly imaginative that I think for a silly little waste of time, it's fine. It's in no way comparable to the original, but I think even the makers of the film knew that it wasn't going to be. The best way I can put it is enjoyably dated. Right, now we're gonna talk about the Mummy film that's worth talking about.
You said it, critic.
No! Wait, what are you doing here?
I want to help you talk about the Mummy movie that's worth talking about.
Oh, of course, with your love of monster movies, it only makes sense that you want to talk about
the 2017 Tom Cruise version.
What are you, out of your mind?
No, but the movie is. It's one of the most dumbass reboots ever, and we need to talk about it.
Yeah, but what about the original Mummy?
You mean the 1932 classic with Boris Karloff and the Carrot series starring Lon Chaney Jr., or the 1959 Hammer version with Christopher Lee? You mean the good ones? Well, I already talked about them on Cinemassacre. Here's the link.
What? Don't advertise your channel on my channel!
Look, everything about the classic versions has already been said. They're masterpieces. But this new one We need to give it what it deserves.
Oh my god. So we're really ending Nostalgia Ween like this? Will it still even be October by the time this comes out?
It doesn't matter. To defend the honor of the classic mummies, we have to do this.
Fine. Alright. Next week, we'll review one of this year's biggest nostalgia cash grabs, resulting in one of this year's biggest bombs.
O Amun-Ra, God of gods, death is but the doorway to new life. We live today, we shall live again. In many new forms shall...
Oh, shut up. Hey, Doug Walker here doing the charity shout out. Once again, if you've been watching the news, you're probably aware of the fires going on in California, but rather than me talk about it, one of our producers who lives out in California, Bennett the Sage, is going to tell you all about it and what you can do to help.
On October 8th, 2017, the city of Santa Rosa experienced unprecedented destruction. A wildfire, which has hence been titled the Tubbs Fire, had rapidly formed, fueled by large amounts of dry vegetation due to years of drought and gusts of wind that reached hurricane-level speeds. The havoc it wrought left over 5,000 buildings destroyed, 5% of the total housing area of Santa Rosa, with over $1 billion in total damages. This, combined with the staggering casualty total of 22 lives lost, makes the Tubbs Fire the most destructive in California history. As of October 19th, the Tubbs Fire has been 90% contained, but the after effects of this disaster will be felt for years to come. But in times of devastation, the human capacity for kindness and generosity will always shine through, and I'm here to ask for that same light to help my city recover. Right now, a donation page has been set up by the Chief Financial Officer of Santa Rosa to help those that have been affected by the Tubbs Fire, and I urge everyone who sees this video to donate what they can to help those that have lost everything to a chance and cruel moment of chaos. Click on the link in the description to donate, or go to youcaring.com and search for Tubbs Fire victims. Please also share this video on social media to help this call for aid. With your help, Santa Rosa can rise again. Thank you.